nice. They seem earnest. They keep to themselves, definitely. They're definitely a very tight couple, but nothing about them catches you off guard as being anything instinctively twisted.
It's very hard to read them upside down.
Also viable.
Could I inquire to Lady Briarwood?
You're saying this out. The conversation comes to you. Yes, of course. I'm so sorry. What was your name again?
Vexalia.
Vexalia.
Yes.
Absolute pleasure to meet you.
You
Delilah.
as well. I noticed your dress is quite lovely.
Thank you.
It doesn't look like a fashion that I'm used to seeing. Where do you hail from originally?
We hail from Wildmount. It's quite a ways from here. The continent, the Far East.
Really, I'm not familiar.
You should come by sometime. We haven't been home in a number of years, having to tend to Whitestone. But we have quite an elaborate homestead there. We'd love to have you come stay with us if you ever find yourself that side of the world.
I would love to visit.
That would be a
How
pleasure.
long have you been at Whitestone?
We've been at Whitestone for the better part of, I can't even remember. And Lord Briarwood looks his best I can recall, 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5
It's an
years.
unfortunate mantle to pick up, but we've done what we can in honor of the past Dorado family.
Sorry.
I was just going to ask if you seem just like such a lovely couple. Do you have any children?
We unfortunately do not. It seems it was not in the cards for us to bear. However, we consider many of our esteemed servants and house guests our extended family.
Oh, how wonderful.
So to leave a legacy, however we can possibly do so.
Can we insight check as what they're saying?
Certainly.
I mean, I know that lion up the S's. But 18.
18? Seems pretty earnest.
Oh wow.
Lord Briarwood. Down
Yes.
here. Yes, hi.
I'm sorry, He snaps and a servant moves a large, pig platter out of the way that was blocking your head from his
You
vision.
can move that over here, actually.
Oh, should we eat already?
Lord
Good-
Briarwood, we may share a mutual friend or acquaintance of some sort. My father was a prominent doctor, and he may have studied medicine with a fellow that you know named Dr. Ripley? Dr. Ripley? Do you know such a person?
Yes, actually, Dr. Ripley is one of our esteemed physicians in Whitestone.
Oh.
Yes, recently come into some land herself, although she has been on holiday for some time.
Oh.
Following her own research, as doctors are wont to do.
Are you close with her?
I wouldn't say close, but she's been at friendly times, and she was one of the few that came with us from Wildmount over to Whitestone, and has helped us restructure and maintain and help facilitate the blossoming of a city without a leader.
She sounds wonderful. Well, when you see her next, tell her that my father, Dr. Jeff Shorthalt, said hi.
Jeff Shorthalt, I will be happy to pass that along.
Lord Briarwood. Okay. I'm not familiar with Whitestone. How did you become caretaker of such a place?
At which point, one of the other council members kind of goes puts his hand out, and it's all right, and he kind of pats the hand of his wife. She looks over at you with a smile. We know not if it is connected with the disease, but before all this occurred, we became very close friends with the Dorado family about 10 or so years ago. Actually, the first time we met, it's kind of an interesting tale. If you want to tell it, please. And his wife goes, all right. So, well, they were taking a brief vacation east to Wildmount. Apparently they had not traveled, and they brought their family with them, a whole gaggle of small children. And they were coming in this direction. Now, our homestead's on the western outskirts of Wildmount, so we're one of the first places you traverse before going into the kingdom proper. However, the Dorolo family, had been caught in a bad downpour, a storm that had blown in and made travel rather impossible. And apparently they just stopped not far from our homestead. They came to our front door asking for shelter for the evening, and we were happy to house them. We gave them dry clothes, food for the night, and a rather fast friendship was forged. As we quickly began to notice, they weren't just rabble off the street. They themselves were highborn as we were, and in a very dire circumstance. So we let them in. They stayed for but a week. We showed them about the western side of Wild Mountain and let them on their way. And since then, we've had many different years we've spent together as families, going on various journeys and trips together. But as time went on, we got busy on our own in separate ways, and we hadn't spoken in a while. They were in the process of discussing the building of the Ariel Bridge about 5 years ago, and we were going to meet with them about pursuing this venture as a joint. When disease took them and the family passed on, we were surprised that they would have considered leaving Whitestone in our name, and we couldn't say no at this point. They carry on their legacy, I felt, was important enough, let alone the memory of that to carry on the building of this Uriel Bridge. I felt I really wanted to spearhead the wishes of Frederick.
You're so courageous. Do you want me to fireball them now? A toast!
Then.
Yes.
A toast
To gracious hosts.
to gracious hosts.
L'chaim.
So, Uriel, and Richard looks across the way and says, one of our largest exports in Whitestone is timber, from the forests and woods that surround Whitestone and the Alabaster Sierras. We've had a rising danger in the surrounding woods. It has made it proven difficult to export most of these wooded goods. If it is possible, we would like for you to send some aid, perhaps a small batch of soldiers. You could help us to try and clean up the woods. And Uriel kind of looks across the way and says, "Oh yes, we can definitely discuss that. I see why not. We're currently in peacetime, and we have a reserve of soldiers we could send your way."
Your muscles locked in place, sweat beginning to bead down the front of your forehead. The realization of the immediate danger you put yourself in, washing over you. You can see across the way, kind of in the dark candlelit area of the room by the canopy bed, is Lady Delilah Briarwood, hands still out, kind of smiling at you. Immediately to your left shoulder is Lord Sylas Briarwood, who has leaned in and is actually pulling you away from the door now. You're skidding across the ground. As he shifts you, your leg's unable to actually move. As he pulls you forward, the Lord kind of whispers in your ear,
"You are a curious one, and not quite gifted with the silver tongue. Foolhardiness is not becoming of a guest of the Briarwoods."
For a moment, there's this kind of pause, this tension, this silence, and Delilah, Lady Briarwood, kind of puts her hand out further and says, "Yet, my love, we are not here to make enemies, nor raise suspicion. We are merely protecting ourselves from intrusion. Isn't that right?" As she looks at you and looks immediately to your right, where you can feel just the general presence of Lord Briarwood. You can see now Lord Briarwood stands up and he's trying to compose himself, kind of ruffles himself angrily, looking at his damaged circumstance. Lady Briarwood's kind of against her shoulder, and she kind of goes, "At the very least, I think you should come visit us sometime, Percy. You're always welcome back home. It'd be nice if you visited your family once in a while." Roll 19. Okay, so a portion of the outside of the carriage just blows apart. Wood shrapnel goes flying to each other side. As the smoke kind of settles in the explosion, you can see both Lord and Lady Briarwood are still standing there, seemingly unscathed by the event.
Turn your phone off!
She wraps her arms around him And she whispers into his ear, "Shh, it's all right." And they both vanish in a swirl of arcane energy
See if I can shatter this glass.
with a loud sound blast echoing through the room. You can hear the reverberation of the actual bronze material sending back the vibrations of the blast of the spell. And it all of you who weren't covering your ears very hardly, it still creeps through and it kind of rings your head a little bit.
All right.
As the blast hits the glass, it seems to have no effect. Like the actual essence of the spell itself is scattered across its surface.
Okay.
This residuum sealed green glass. The two figures step into what little bit of light is now visible from Percy's torch that is twisted through the warped surface of this glass wall. And you see before you Lord and Lady Briarwood stepping up to the wall, looking through their warped visage through the glass, looking down into the chamber that you're all currently locked in.
Oh, is this your room? I didn't even realize we were in your house right now. How good to see you again, darling.
Silas just leans forward and kind of puts his hand over the glass and says,
And hello to you too. And welcome to all of you.
"Well, my dear," at which point Delilah kind of steps forward too and goes, "I was hoping for a more formal reunion, but you insisted on riling up the populace and tying up the bulk of our forces. Rather unfortunate, really." As you pull your hand out of the switch, Silas's gaze pierces into your eyes, and your blades, before you even have a moment to notice, have already sheathed themselves. And you step into the room alongside the two of them.
The jewels. It was what lowered the glass. Break the jewels.
Silas comes and pats you on the shoulder and goes,
However, it doesn't hurt to have friends.
"Thankfully, we were ahead of our residuum production schedule, and a few minor modifications to our distillery room made an excellent trap for you." Delilah turns to him and says, "A bit unceremonious, but I'm not in the mood to break a sweat today. We're still weeks off from being ready, and I have much work to do." At which point they both kind of look over and put their hands on Cassandra, and Cassandra's still standing there kind of staring at the room with a look of coldness mixed with this brimming sense of desperation and worry. There's like this crux moment in her where there's this inner conflict within her right now. As you begin to ascend the steps, a couple things. One, you notice the structure is very old at its base. The white stone itself is cracked and worn, weathered, and most of it is indeed made from the white stone from the surrounding mountains of the Alabaster Sierras, mined ages and ages ago. And as you get further up, you begin to see sections of it that are newer stone, areas that have been renovated and rebuilt and made to complete this apparently once sundered structure. As you all begin to creep up past the midpoint, you begin to notice the color change beyond it. The white stone begins to fade away as you begin to see clusters of that same green residuum glass is now set across, smooth, almost like the limestone of a pyramid, as put like a top layer to it. And as you begin to get further to the top, eventually the entirety of the stone and the stairs are coated in this material, to the point where there's even a little bit of slickness at certain places from the smoothness. It's like chipped obsidian, how it's flaked away, it has those kind of divots in it. There is that kind of smoothness, that glass-like texture to it. As you begin to get towards the very top of the stairway, each of you kind of carefully keeping in line, talking to each other quietly, you begin to see the central structure at the top of the platform begin to appear. And it's a simple, four-walled structure made purely of this dark jade glass material. There's a slight overhang with a few platforms that seem to hold this kind of, for lack of a better term, an awning type platform that hangs over the entrance to this. You guys are about to reach the lip. Is there any preparation you want to do?
I would like to rage.
Does the building is it completely encased?
The building is entirely encased in this material.
And they're already inside?
Well, you haven't gotten to the very top of the lip yet.
But can I see? Because I'm raised above, right?
You see, as they're having this conversation, they talk a bit with Vax, speak with Cassandra, then they step forward and begin to open the 2 doors to the central chamber.
Can I ask a clarification question? The mojo they have on me, do I think they're my best friends in the world, or is it more Kilgrave and just I do whatever they say but have my own opinion trapped away?
You have your own opinion. You trust them implicitly. They have to be protected.
Alright. It's a little both, it seems like.
I'll,
Like there is kind of like any close friend who would ask something of you and say, "Please come with me," and there is an essence of you're compelled to.
So I trust them.
You trust them, yeah.
We have to.
Am I close to Percy at all? Or did we already separate?
No, you guys have already separated.
You and Scanlan are together.
We have to stop them before they close these doors. If we close the doors, it's over.
do we see them closing the doors?
They've just opened the doors and they're beginning to.
Percy, go get their attention. Percy.
I'm heading up.
I'm gonna stay hidden as my... Oh, God. And I'm gonna dip the rest of my arrows in holy oil.
Okay, as you're stepping up.
I inspire Pike real quick just before the battle.
Okay, how do you inspire her?
I just look at her and I say, roses are red, violets are blue. We're both gnomes and you are so foxy. That's it.
All right.
When I look up, can I see the ceiling now?
Looking up, you can see the roof is carved earth. There is no loose stone. It looks like this chamber has been carefully hollowed out over time.
Can I see any like a root system of like a really deep running tree?
Currently, no, you cannot.
Fuck. Okay.
Percy, what are you doing?
I'm walking up the steps. I'm putting the mask on.
Okay. As you put the mask on, you begin to ascend. You can feel the nerves kind of tickle your belly, and you know what you're about to encounter. And in doing so, you feel that heat rise in the back of your neck. And as you do, the smoke begins to billow out from under your collar, from out of your sleeves.
I make my way to the top of the stairs.
Trinket coming slowly behind you. They open the doors and they're beginning to step into the chamber.
Sylas!
Stop. Both Lord and Lady Briarwood look over their shoulder.
A moment of your time.
They look at each other. Close the chamber door. Sylas reaches out and grabs something on it or pushes something that's out of sight. And then they both turn and begin to step forward a little bit with Vax and Cassandra flanking them, stopping right outside of the doors.
My hands are on a device which I have made that is on my hip that I'm ready to begin using at a moment's notice.
I have a
French
holy arrow
tickler.
knot.
I know.
It's the most ticklish French tickler you've ever seen, baby.
I mean, I'm just gonna let
Oh,
this,
yeah.
unless
Oh,
we have
yeah.
something planned, I'm just gonna go.
What's this? What's going on?
We have debts to settle. Sylas.
And apparently, you and your friends are obnoxious enough to not stay dead.
They were kind enough to make sure that I made my way here to face you.
Well, perhaps this evening won't be so boring after all, will it?
And Sylas looks over to Delilah, and Delilah kind of gives him a look too. And goes, "Very well."
The darkness demands your soul, Sylas. I am going to cast Hex on Lady Briarwood and pull my smoke bomb at the exact same second and drop it and throw it at them.
Great.
So, looking over at Pike, already ready with her mace up in the air and the mist recoiling from her, you kind of glance at each other, have that connective point, and as Pike brings up her shield, You bring back your sunbeam and throw it towards the shield, arcing it in his direction as she ricochets the reflection of the actual sunlight back at him at the same time.
That was
That's
way
cool.
cooler than what you said.
Yeah, way
As-
cooler. I knew
as
he'd bring it through.
As it sprays across, the beams themselves seem to form nearly phallic rays,
Cross the stream. Cross the stream.
tearing through the mist, and with an echoing scream, you hear Silas' voice ring out as the mist is immediately dissipated and disintegrated. His form.
Fuck you, Silas!
So done.
You.
High five, Pike.
Oh, how's it feel, Lady Briarwood?
She, looking over her shoulder, still looking at him as she's called to him to, go join in the altar room, the ritual room, looks over and sees that he's mist form. And in slow motion from her perspective, she just sees Keela step forward, wind blowing around her, releasing this beam and watching him be disintegrated. Immediately her eyes open wide and she screams out, "No! Silas!" And you can see her whole body shaking now at this point. The horror of seeing her partner, the love of her life, disintegrated before her. Tears immediately burst down her face, and her hands are shaking in there. She just screams out, "You can't! I broke the world for us! No!" At this point, the scroll,
God damn it.
vanishes, and
That's it.
she, as a bonus action at the top of this turn, gashes across her wrist and spreads her own life's blood across what looks, you can now see this dark orb about a foot in diameter that's resting in the center of this upper platform. As
Can I
blood
take a
scatters
potion really
across it.
fast?
Wait,
At the type of return you can as a bonus action, yes.
the orb is it's a
The
floating.
dark orb in the center of this platform that she's currently on in the center of this room, it's half embedded into the ground, and she scatters her blood across it. You can see her shaking with fear and trepidation during this whole circumstance.
She splatters her blood on the dark.
Yeah, make a perception
Sphere.
check. Those are up top, by the way.
Is there?
And who's up
any-
next?
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
16.
I'm climbing.
1.
What are we trying to do?
Perception.
Perception.
Scanlan gets up.
Hey, hi guys, what's going on? Oh,
Hi.
20.
bleeding all over
Okay.
that thing?
Those who got 15 or higher, you notice the writhing on the walls. The walls are encased in what looks like a tapestry of bodies. Hundreds of humanoid individuals that are kind of woven into each other,
Oh,
each
gross!
missing their left hand and or left eye from their body, and they're all just
Are they dead?
squirming and writhing. Many of them are in various states of decay, and they're just moving after that ice that was encased in them had shattered. There's this low, kind of weird moaning drone that's beginning to fill the room. The black orb itself is starting to rise out of the center of the pedestal as well. Now, the blast from Bad News catches the air. It slams into her side, and she's nearly thrown off the top of the platform from the blast of it. You can see now blood streaking down on her other arm now, and she just has blood down her side of her face, down her one arm and the other, and she's shaking in place on the platform. She sees you kind of lifting towards holding the rope at his side, and she's kind of looking at the orb, and doesn't even seem to really know what's going to happen. There's this anticipation and fear in her eyes. Everything's been torn from her at this point. She's a caged animal with nothing to lose. So that finishes your turn. Taking her turn, she sees you rushing towards her. She extends her finger, and 75 points of necrotic damage.
What
But
are
you
you
were
at?
at 76? Oh my
Oh
god.
my god!
Alrighty. You're at 1 hit point.
Are you fucking...
As your life force is suddenly sucked out of your body, and you manage to capture what essence of your existence still holds you aloft, drifting forward, almost toppling over in your fly spell. At this point, she kind of looks at her finger frustrated, glances at the rest of you, and looks forward at the orb and goes, "Come on, come on!" At this point, the orb, who is now shimmering, and the blood kind of is slowly spilling over the outside of the dark onyx sphere, it begins to spin and spin
Am I close
and
to
spin.
it?
You've moved up to this point. Now you're right at the edge.
Why don't you go away?
The orb suddenly shrinks in a flash of an instant, becoming just this tiny speck, this little dark speck in the air, roughly the size of a dime. And that's it. She waits.
No. It can't be too soon. Please.
Please. And she kind of falls to her knees. She's kind of staring at this little dark speck in the air. The writhing walls of the room kind of fall quiet again. All the body's no longer moving.
13, 14, 15,
Don't kill her.
16.
If it needs more blood,
22
don't
points
kill
of damage.
How do you want to do this?
Whoa! Don't you get to kill Lady Briarwood?
Do it with as little blood as possible. I'm dead.
You're unconscious.
I'm unconscious.
I think if you kill her,
It's okay.
A little late.
here comes Godzilla.
Smoke billowing from your body. The essence of this creature whispering in your ear.
No. Do it. Do it.
Bad news. Freshly repaired. Loaded.
Yeah, man. It's your birthright.
Shh.
I'm gonna take. Oh my god. I'm gonna take a shoulder shot on her right arm. And I'm gonna try and cleave her right arm right off with the shot and see if I can just leave her unconscious.
Okay. Roll damage. Or just roll damage. This is going to be. It's going to be a Constitution saving throw for her. She can survive this wound. As. The right or left arm, you said?
Right arm.
Right arm.
Not killing her.
Blasts open, the bone exposed, the arm just spins off and clatters to the ground behind her. With that blast, she falls backward onto the steps behind off a platform. Falls off the steps, falls out of sight behind the pillar. You don't even see where she is. She just falls out of visual range. Hold your hand once again.
Delilah, you are going to die tonight. Whether or not it is a merciful, quick death or a slow and agonizing one, controlled by something darker than I know, is entirely up to you. How do we stop that thing?
Delilah, whose eyes are still kind of rolling after all the shouting that's been going on and is still coming to consciousness with the gag around her mouth, just kind of goes. And eyes dart around in fear. You can see like their makeup's run down her cheeks from her own lamenting over Silas's loss and the confusion over the ritual. And the fear all of a sudden turns to seething, burning hatred as they dart around. And then she can't talk with the...
I will mage hand to remove the
Oh,
gag
God.
from her.
I pull an arrow and aim it right at her head. just in
Yeah,
case.
I kind of start. I prep my fire hands.
I know the pain you're feeling right now. I know the rage. I know every moment of it, and I guarantee I can make it worse. I can make it so much worse. Fix this. And join your beloved.
Okay, as this is happening, as this is happening, she, you know, the gag falls away from her mouth from the magic hand. She's glancing at you, and the smoke is now billowing up stronger to the point where you can barely see Percy's torso. You can see his head now, and as what little bit of a view you have, his eyes have gone completely dark. There is just pitch black, completely encasing the entirety of his visible eye. You can see his feet still dangling beneath the smoke, and his feet are digging in tense into the ground.
Delilah, don't make me hurt you.
I reach over and I grab Vex's hand, and I just look at her and I say, oh, "What do we do? Do we do
Grog,
something?"
be ready to restrain me.
I'm ready.
Percival Frederickstein, von Musel Kowalski de Rollo III. You will fight this monster inside of you!
Delilah's looking at you right now, and this kind of the anger and fury in her eyes clarified. She just kind of looks up and says,
You've already taken everything from me.
I really haven't. You still have your sanity and your life. I will take your life tonight, but I can leave you your sanity.
Interesting. You seem to be struggling, Percy.
Okay, I'm gonna be an asshole. Fine. Fine. Casting minor illusion.
Okay.
I'm changing my form into the screaming, writhing, slowly melting visage of Lord Briarwood.
Oh shit!
And I'm just going to scream in holy high hell in pain.
Okay.
Oh.
Suck it, girl.
So minor illusion, as a limitation, it would not be a full body illusion, but you could take elements of your features
I'm in
to
smoke.
resemble it.
I'm just taking. Yeah, I know
So,
I'm in the smoke.
So where once Percy's face existed, it twists into this shimmering apparition of Sylas Briarwood, looking down at her as his face contorts into horrible screaming pain. The head rises up, and almost soundlessly he screams out as the flesh begins to melt from the bone. As it does, Percy's voice rings out in this cacophonous roar that shakes the cavern around you.
That pain you're feeling, I've felt for years. Don't think I've imagined every way to hurt you. I could spend years hurting you before you die. In ways you cannot imagine. Now, how do we stop it?
I don't know. I don't even know if it worked. We've been preparing for this ritual for 5 godforsaken years. All to repay a debt. And that's all. You forced us. It was too soon.
Why? Why was it too soon? What were you waiting for?
We were waiting for a particular date. There's a time each year in which the barriers between the realms glow and grow very weak. You recall Erevon's attempt generations ago to blur between the realm of ice and this one, what you call the Winter's Crest. Well, this is too early. And you saw our failure. He will not be happy, I imagine. And I still owe him for what he gave me, for what he gave us.
What did he give you?
At which point, her eyes well up with tears, and she looks over.
He gave me my Sylas back. And you took him from me again. So do what you must do. I know I've paid my penance. And I know that no matter what steps you take now, it'll only drag you deeper into this dark hole you've drawn yourselves. And you'll hear me laughing.
No, I really won't. Knock her out again.
Oh, fine.
Make a strength check.
I yell, Delilah's getting away!
Wait, that's Delilah?
You guys all glance over. The shackles that are on the ground are now collapsed and empty.
Oh, shit!
The gag safely removed from her mouth during this allowed her to cast Misty Step, which is just a verbal-based spell. She is currently...
How far away?
I'm calculating that right now.
And can I see her?
I'm gonna have to ask you to roll a perception check here in a minute.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And the question is, yeah, I'm kind of curious
Okay.
how far she got.
So this is just what she's...
We didn't bind her.
There we go. So
Because we're morons.
Well, she got out of her manacles.
She misty steps,
it
so
was
she turned
there.
into air.
She landed, cast invisibility, and vanished. and you just hear the footsteps down the hall. You're not quite sure where she is or how far she's gotten. But you know she's kind of down that way.
Cassandra!
Cassandra's right there.
Yeah. Cassandra doesn't notice. She's just been running as you told her to run.
Is Cassandra still
But she heard you
earshot
shout,
range?
and she did hear you shout, and she looked over her shoulder, but not in time for her to see anything happen, because this all happened during the last round, just during your realization.
Good.
So you guys just see her, you just look around and Delilah's gone. You're the only one who really saw the direction she's going, but it's your turn. Vax, you're up.
All right, I'm going to use my bonus action and dash and run 60 feet after Percy to catch up.
You're not gonna kill the smoke beast?
You're going to kill the smoke beast.
It's okay.
Okay, so use your bonus dash, your movement to get there. So
Yeah.
you move up 60.
So that's 60 feet from where I was? Okay, and I'm going to throw a dagger after. Well, can I do perception check and that, or is that two different things?
Well, honestly, once the creature's invisible and you don't know where it was, you don't even really get a chance to check at this distance, so it's just rolling. It's attack with disadvantage.
All right, I'm going to attack at disadvantage then.
All right.
That is 14.
14 is a miss. Returns to your belt. Finds no purchase.
That was 18.
That was 18. You rolled 18.
That was an 18?
Yeah, 11 is 18.
7 plus 11 is indeed 18. Go ahead and roll damage.
See?
Thanks, sis.
No problem. This is why I look over your shoulder even when my math is bad.
Okay. That is 8.
8. Okay.
But she was almost unconscious.
She'll leave it to trail.
So at this point, as you're running, you're rushing forward. To the left of your ear, you hear a
Oh, she fell.
and you glance over your shoulder, and there, face down on the ground, is Delilah, sprawled out, face down in the dirt, with a single dagger sticking out of the center of her back.
For a second.
And then it's gone.
And blood begins to out from the wound.
She's dead. We killed her.
All right.
Haunting us.
While he's thinking, I walk up to Delilah.
Wait.
Grab her
Wait.
by the
No,
clothes.
wait.
Drag her to the side of the wall. And
Wait.
prop her up. And turn to Percy. And say, in this.
Cassandra?
Cassandra, who's now stopped and looks at you, kind of. She clutches the rapier in her hand, and you can see her hand shaking, just the tension of the muscles in her fingers, clenching it as hard as she possibly can, as she walks up with each slow, quiet step echoing across the stone. Delilah up against the wall, like blood spilling out the corner of her mouth, coughing, conscious, with her one, missing arm on the side. The blood's beginning to ooze now from the wound as just the sheer force of all the movement has torn the wounds fresh open, and she's there, and she looks over in the corner of her eye and turns, seeing the rest of you, and sees Cassandra. As Cassandra steps up, she holds the rapier at her side, staring down, this time just a single tear cresting down the side of her cheek. Delilah looks up and goes,
You could have been my daughter.
She looks down at Delilah and says,
No. Cassandra is a Derolo. And you took them away from me. And now we're taking everything away from you.
and just thrust the rapier forward right into the chest. As it hits her, it actually pulls her up about a foot against the wall. The sheer force of the wound. Last breath escaping from Delilah's mouth. Her arm falls limp to the side.
That was good.
The singular figure standing up here, it seems to be giving orders and shouting it out to the side. Female voice rings out across the central of the chamber and says, "Remnants, slay the intruders and grant their bodies to the cause."
Can I see whose voice that was?
Make a perception check.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That was crazy.
What a crazy roll.
27.
27. It's hard to see. She's kind of in the dark right there in the spheres and a lot of light. But the voice sounds familiar.
Familiar.
All right, so at this point, the woman pulls an amulet. The The woman pulls an amulet out from beneath the robe, and as she clutches it in her hand, the orb shifts from black to white. What? Like a white gray color. Oh, no. And you watch as the wind suddenly gets whipped up even heavier and lights up the area around the space. You watch as the cloaked hood kind of flows back. And for a brief moment, before the grin crawls across her face, you see the face of Delilah Briarwood.
We killed her! She's dead!
No!
She's dead! She died! We killed her!
Oh no!
Yet there she is at the top of the ziggurat.
How? How?
It's like a soap opera.
Dun dun dun!
I broke the world for you. Returns.
I would like you all to roll initiative.
Of the cult hoods that I have, transform my face with alter self into Sylas Briarwood.
Okay.
Her husband. Her dead husband. And I'm gonna have his face, and I'm gonna walk forward, and I'm gonna say, Delilah, don't. It is me.
Oh, hello.
Make a deception check.
Your long lost husband.
So as you step forward into the chamber, over into
not
the
good.
space.
I've been watching this very carefully.
This is not good. This is not good.
Sunshine.
My love.
This is not
No.
good. I'm not
No.
good at this shit.
Natural it.
Natural 20.
Give me good.
Oh, it's not bad.
Not bad.
14.
Plus? Wait.
Oh,
That's
no,
it.
14.
14.
It is mediocre.
Okay. So
Nope, that's all I got. 14's good
it's
for me.
dark.
Okay. All right, so that's your action.
Right.
As you say this up to Delilah, her eyes flash over to you, and her face goes like,
Oh no.
Yeah.
She's
mad.
so bad. She's mad.
Focus on you.
you have your movement in bonus. Delilah, who's currently like glaring at Keyleth, and the rest of you looks out and goes, of course it would be you, wouldn't it?
Standing.
She takes a step back, leans over, without breaking eye contact, goes, finish your work. And slams her hand down on the ground, and you watch as this sphere of rainbow color completely encompasses around the top of the ziggurat.
It's
She makes it.
Bitch.
Which looks out, seeing everyone falling apart out there, looks back, pulls back in and looks at Scanlan and goes, there's more important things to do. She grabs her amulet that she has around her neck, and as she holds it again, you watch as the white orb that was glowing turns to black. Once again, into the black orb. In that instant, Grog, you revert back to your regular size.
Right.
My magic.
Oh no!
Keyleth, you return to your form.
What a fucking bitch.
Percy, you fall off the side of the wall and land on your feet barely. The skeletons just collapse into piles of bones. Terry, you fall.
Bitch.
Cocoon.
And land on the ground there. This prismatic wall vanishes.
Does Feeble Mind end?
I know. Does people
Yeah.
Feeble Mind,
Not within the range?
currently right now, is unaffecting you.
No!
Wait, is not affecting her?
Meaning, Feeble Mind, whatever the spell is right now, it doesn't seem to be having an effect. So all of a sudden, your consciousness comes back to you.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell.
She, clutching the amulet, gives a nod to the two other cultists, and all three of them step into the black orb.
Step into the black
Step
orb.
into the black orb. You watch as their forms and vanish.
They disapparated.
As you guys arrive,
Remember, don't look directly at
the floor is just surrounded in bodies. Cultists of very ornate robes. Mostly you've seen kind of peon-based black splatters of just sackcloth and what was available. No. These are all well adorned and appear to have been very well regarded within the remnants. You also see on this side what appears to be, on this side would be Delilah Briarwood.
Bitch face Briarwood.
Bitch
Mother
face
bitch.
Briarwood.
On this side, you see what appears to be a black, armored, massive, not quite Goliath size, but a thick, dark, black knight of just jagged, dark metal armor. What appears to be a long sword that just emanates this dark energy. And floating above.
Oh no, what's flying?
Put it away.
No, I don't need it.
Those are my platforms.
Wait,
I can
no.
take them back anytime I want.
Oh no, what is that?
You see
Doctor Strange.
a man,
Oh no.
though the flesh is pulled tight against a skeletal frame. You see long red and purple and black robes that are tattered and drift below the breeze and cold gently blowing by. You see just a field of crackling energy just bursting around the outskirts of his form. You see one hand is out, just kind of in a welcoming position, while the empty wrist that once contained the hand is now open on the other side. You see the bald, hairless head, which is covered in spots and tugged open bits of flesh that have curled away from rotten decay. You see the cheeks sunken in where the skeletal teeth are now emblazoned in a terrible grin. You see the right eye and the gaping hole where a bright green, bursting, flaming, vacuous void where an eye once was now drifts off a trail behind it. You see there, reborn before you, the Whispered One.
No!
The Undying King.
What?
Vecna himself.
God,
we're in it.
I don't like it. 2d6 psychic. So that's 4 points of psychic damage. That was a terrible roll.
That was so bad.
18, 19, and 18, 19, 20, 21, 24 points of damage.
Okay.
Is that doubled? Did you
Yeah,
double
that's doubled.
Well,
terrible.
How do you want to do this on Delilah?
Take my second shot. I call. Delilah! Even if we die, it's fucking worth it. And I take it right in her good eye. I want me to be the last thing she sees.
As she turns around, you watch that side of her face just explode, and she falls back. The force of it knocking her off her feet, and she scatters across the stonework. You glance over and you can see her looking face up, and the little green eye in the socket just turns and looks towards you.
Wait.
Grog?
Yeah.
Can you put her in the bag? And I toss him the body.
As the body of Delilah Briarwood, the head's still kind of scattered and divided right around the forehead. This giant cleft of her skull hemisphere is just gone, and whatever matter was once there is kind of loosely fallen out as she's been dragged from one to the other location. You do see the left eye, which is not human, it seems, in appearance. The white is instead a sickly greenish yellow, and the pupil itself is a cat-like slit of black, surrounded by a very thin kind of greenish blue tint. And as soon as you look down and see the face, the eye of which just looks upward at nothing, the dead body still, the eye twitches and shifts to look at you.
Uh-oh. Her fucking eye is still moving.
Should we take it out?
Yes. Or it could be Vecna watching us. Or
Does it look
another
reptilian?
being.
Can you put it in a bag or something? Cover it up.
Happily.
Wait, but it might still. Can I take a closer look at it and see if I can, I don't know, identify it somehow?
Do you have an identify spell?
No, but can I just kind of look and
Make
see
an
it?
Arcana check.
Sure. 2.
Okay.
Plus 5. But
right. As you get down close to glance at the rather disturbingly bloodied face of Delilah Briarwood, the eye shifts back towards you. As the closer you get, you watch as the thinly slit pupil seems to almost widen and focus on you. And it's this unsettling presence. And as you try and concentrate on it to see if there's any immediate signs of whether it be sigils or arcane marks that would mark it to be more of a magically enchanted object than an actual organic eye, nothing comes to mind other than the fact that it seems to be very intent on studying you back.
Can I try to remove it from the ocular cavity?
With your fingers?
Yeah.
Okay.
My tiny ocular hands.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
9.
Okay. You
can inspire myself, I suppose.
If you want to. Up to you. How many more bardic inspirations do you have after the battle?
2, right? Because I didn't cutting words anyone. Those count as inspiration,
They do.
right?
Yeah. Your fingers are now pretty much knuckle deep in Delilah Briarwood's
I will
sock.
inspire myself just to give it a serious try.
Okay.
That's plus 10, so that's a 19.
Okay.
Plus, I guess, 3 for Jack of all trades.
If you're not training it, then yeah.
So 22.
All right. So you begin humming your favorite eye-pulling song under your breath, and with the horrible sucking sound, you pull the eye from her socket, leaving this kind of trail of dark black and red viscera that just dangles from it loosely. Which, as you pull it free, whatever attached the eye to it seems to burn off and fall, leaving just the circular socket. I also need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Insta-death.
No, you're fine.
No, I'm not. Oh, is this magic?
It's not a magic spell. I'd say it's a magic effect, yeah.
So do I get advantage?
I'll say yes, as a gnome, for this, yes, you would.
Way better, but still terrible. 12.
Oh, God.
12.
Uh-huh.
How bad was your first one?
A 1.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so you guys watch as Scanlan kind of pulls this eye out and kind of looks at it for a second. For you, it's less of an actual voice, but these images come to your mind of all the terrible things that have happened in your life, the loss of your mother, the near loss of Kaylee, loss of your friends, every person that's ever mattered to you, you've seen slain before you or heard about. You could stop that from ever happening again.
Like was Sylas. I don't know.
Well,
Let's find out.
Possible.
Well,
You give it
okay.
those 5?
That was my first
Yeah.
question.
Cool.
I feel pretty good. I like this plan.
Light this candle.
Okay. She gets her holy symbol, takes out her component pouch and begins setting up the ritual for the Speak with Dead spell. It takes her but a moment to invoke it. Her eyes glow, the symbol suddenly shines this column of light onto the corpse of Delilah Briarwood there, motionless against the chair that you found the body. The spell now released, the glyphs in the ground kind of faintly glowing with this energy. Pike reaches out and concentrates. There's no spirit.
What?
Shit. What? She's already been brought back.
There's no soul to grasp. Either the soul is beyond reach or she's not dead.
How many
Wait,
times
she's
are we
not
going
dead?
to have to
She gone
fight
away.
this bitch?
How?
gone
We have
away.
her body.
She's a necromancer.
I don't know what that means.
It means, and
I'm a holy man. I'm a priest of Ayun. I don't know about the undead.
Because you got holes.
My brother, please.
My son.
Shit.
Well, even as a
Could try to
Source of
scry on
information
her.
is a source of vengeance. She is just a constant disappointment.
Can I scry on her?
Do you have another spell slot?
I have 3 5th level spells plus my scry and eye that I haven't used yet.
So if you'd like to, yeah.
I guess step outside again.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, be sneaky about it,
Wait,
okay?
do we have to do it in outside?
We already did.
Yeah, this is
All
one
right.
plane of existence.
All right.
We have to be on the same plane.
What's your spell DC?
21.
You concentrate your vision and focus on the whereabouts, perhaps, of where Delilah Briarwood might be if she's on this plane. Your vision pulls out of your body, rockets once again through the stratosphere, the darkness. It's hard to place direction, but your essence is drawn back down through the clouds over what looks to be the center of a rocky mountain range covered in snow and ice. You're suddenly another flash, and there you are amongst the city of Tharamvala. There's another flash, and you see what looks to be a hole in the ground, a large carved tunnel. You see hooded figures, blurry at the edges of this vision, emerging. And there you see, stepping out of the tunnel, Delilah Briarwood, with both eyes. Steps out, her hood up, pulls it back. She glances off to a direction you can't see and goes, "It's almost ready."
Accurate, you know, it'd be the difference between the spa or the kitchen.
What if?
But if it's gone,
It's gone.
then it's gone. But then I could still bamf us back to Tharamfala or Tharza, whatever other city that we just came out of.
Worst case scenario, we can leave the gates still outside.
There's a
if they don't
moment
open.
with a faint, whining, high-pitched sound.
Oh shit.
We
And
need to
this
go now.
sudden
Plane
thrust.
shift.
Oh, we're out.
There's a sudden thrust of vacuum as the mansion around you just dissipates, and you're all plopped onto the ground outside of the cupboard, where crawled upward partway into the building, you see a skeletal dragon standing there, its claws jammed into the inside, its wings open, and you see standing on the back of the dragon, finger forward. I know, finger forward, just finishing the dispel magic she had cast. Delilah Briarwood with behind her, darkened armor, arms around Sylas, grinning.
Sylas!
As she goes, "Oh, glad you could make." No, wait. As soon as you gather, she's going to attempt a counterspell.
Oh god.
Oh shit.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So plane shift is 7th level, right?
I can use
But we're doing it as a. Are you doing it? No, but I am doing it as an 8th level because I'm out of.
Attacks. That's
I'm
right,
doing it as 8th
okay,
level.
Good to know. Good to know.
I'll be here.
Oh my god.
So where are you plane shifting to?
Feywild.
Feywild. Okay, so you quickly grasp.
Do we have a city in Feywild that we know of that's like safe-ish?
Go to the water elemental, the
That's a
pond.
natural 8.
Pond! No! The pond! Fuck you!
As she attempts to cast to counter the spell, even at a higher level, it fizzles, unable to break through, and all of you, as you watch her hand extend and Sylas about to dismount, find yourselves pulled out of Tharamfala, hovering in place. The skeletal dragon swoops down, and as its wings catch itself, the wind billows through the space in the center here. You can see a bunch of the dust and pebbles and loose rubble that's been kind of built up around here, and the wall that was left behind just gets kicked up and kind of spins a brief dust devil in the vicinity. The skeletal dragon there still flying. Make a perception check.
But we're within 60 feet of him, right? You said we were in.
He's
within
kept
30.
relatively close to the building.
Okay.
So I didn't get the plus 10?
No.
No.
Okay.
But you're still hidden from view from Vecna.
Perception. That's not terrible. That's a 16 perception.
Okay, as soon as the dragon gets close, and you've seen it flying about up in the kind of stratosphere area of this dome before, you can see there are still bits of kind of flesh dangling off of the bones, and it is a familiar colored flesh.
Oh no.
Whereas you and your adventuring party had traveled here before, this risen dragon form seems to have been torn from the corpse of the mount that brought you to this city. You see as the skeleton, or the skull of its body, its eyes crackling bright blue-green energy, there on the back of this dragon, you see two humanoids standing on its back. You see a dark armored male with pale skin with a well-kept beard and short hair, with his arm around the waist of a female who's currently clutching onto the back of its bones. You can see the woman in red robes being blown up. Her hair, bound in the front, is wild behind as she has a necklace bauble that hangs around her neck, crackling blue-green energy. As she has her hand forward, she glances around at the space angrily. What? Looks over at the Gloomstalker. Oh, what have we here? Is this your doing?
Maybe she doesn't see you. Maybe she's talking to the Gloomstalker.
The Gloomstalker, I control the Gloomstalker and make him screech.
Adorable. Wouldn't you say so, honey? And the man behind him goes, oh, quite. Well, I'm a fan of taking thorns out of my side. Is it time we do a bit of surgery, darling? And the woman goes, but of course. Oh, how I've missed you. And she nuzzles into his neck a bit and turns around. The dragon lands onto the tower across the way, facing in the direction of the Gloomstalker, and it inhales. And you watch as it begins to breathe in all of the shards of bone matter that have been scattered across the streets of the city begin to whip up and spiral into its rib cage like a blender. As it pulls back, and as the dragon's mouth opens, it releases a blast of bone shards that arc out in front of you. You and the blade jams into her chest, and as you twist it, she screams, and the blood from the wound sprays out in the middle air and then freezes, and then sips into the blade as it's like sucking the blood.
Oh,
She's like entangled, and she reaches up and grabs the blade and begins pulling out of the wound. She's like, there's blood spattering up around her mouth, but she's still alive.
Did you want it out? Here, let me help you have it back in.
Roll again.
Okay. That is a 32.
Okay, roll damage.
Okay.
Like the music stops. We're like,
26. 24.
24. You jam the blade in a second time and gash across, and it carves open this part of her chest, and you can see the blood spatter out. The bones are exposed, and she's on the ground, shaking like she's hanging on by a tether, and her eyes are going wild. And she glances over, and her hand goes out, and you can see Sylas, who's right next to her. His eyes are wide, and he's reaching out to grasp for her hand. So the end of your turn. Oh, you're frenzy raging, right?
Oh no! Yeah.
Come on,
I was gonna do something to Sylas, but fuck it. We're gonna
You have my blessing.
Come on!
Chop off her hand.
That was so close. 33.
Okay. So
with your rage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you hack on a third time with the blade, making this smear of blood across the ground, the entangled vines that hold her there are just soaked in crimson at this point. And she's coughing and sputtering. You can see the open wounds in her chest, and her hand just reaching out. Silas! And he's like going for her at that point. That's the end of your turn.
47. I didn't have to mark it.
47 points of damage with the sharpshooter. How do you want to do it?
Get it, girl!
Point that finger.
She was reaching out for that dimension door. Yeah.
Yes!
So, as you see her hand reaching out, and you see her fingers tracing the incantation in the air as Silas's hand reaches outstretched for hers.
No, you don't.
I point my finger down at her, so I'm about to shoot the arrow. And then as it shoots, I just keep pointing at her like, how's it feel, bitch? How's it feel?
As she reaches out, Her eyes are locked with Sylas. She's not even paying attention to Grog at this point. All she's focused on is escape. And Grog, as you look down at her, and Sylas is looking into her face, reaching out, the air just through like the jaw and out the side of her cheek there. It just pierces the cheek. And the eyes just go cold. In her hand, the spell incantation fades and the hand just twitches and then falls to the ground still. As that happens, Sylas, his hand still reached out, goes,
No!
Oh, I feel so bad for him.
No, you don't.
Does she have another arrow?
Consider that
I do have another attack.
He turns around to look at you. Vengeance, I suppose, is mine this time. Make your
And I
second
attack him.
This is a unique reversal of the last time this happened. We'll say, for the purposes of this, the mist travels and vanishes from sight by the time you're able to catch up to it, to get it to a place where you can destroy it. Delilah Briarwood has been destroyed, seemingly for the last time. Sylas has been driven to wherever he needs to recover.
That's right. It'll take him a lot.
Does it take him a
He's
long
got a
time?
coffin.
Can I
Vecna gives up.
say one thing right now?
Yes.
Yes.
As we were moving, I didn't realize we're moving in the bubble.
We didn't get very far.
We didn't get very far. I cast Animate Dead on Delilah, and I raised her.
What?
You're doing what?
We're fighting her again.
As you guys finish focusing, as you look out, you can see the mist, and the mist just kind of vanishes. And at this point, you can see now, looking up, dozens and dozens of Gloomstalkers have all turned to see this out in the open action that's now taking place in the space around you. You're all out, not being stealthy, firing and shooting out into the air, and you see now clusters of these things heading in your direction.
We've got to get on.
As you turn and look to the side, you watch as Delilah's body gets up from the ground.
Yeah.
Rise and kneel before your master.
And as the shambling corpse of Delilah falls to her knees before Archon.
Oathbreaker, baby!
All right, you guys all start bolting down that side of the beach as the fog clears and pushes away. As the fog pushes away from Keyleth's spell, you can see, too, a fair jog up the beach begins to lift into what looks to be a beachside cliff. There's a precipice that kind of curves up, and there is a heavy cliff that comes to a sheer drop into the ocean. You guys heading that direction. In the meantime, Percival and Vex.
Oh, fuck.
B story.
You both slowly come to consciousness, kind of shaking your head. You hear sounds like the crashing of waves. You both are kind of on the ground, lying on your side, and you hear the crashing of waves.
Are our hands free?
They are not. Your hands are bound behind your back and bound to your ankles. There are shackles on your wrists and your ankles, and you are held there.
That's supposed to be the wedding night.
As soon as you say Percival, two figures step over and grab both of you by the back of your outfits and lift you onto your knees. And you can now, like, glancing over your shoulder, see you're about 5 feet from the edge of the cliff that drops a few hundred feet into the ocean below. You see where the cliff descends, or the cliffs behind you, the rocky area slowly heads into a grade that goes towards the rest of Marquette. You can see the Agrod Mountains in the distance, with what little bit of moonlight has made its way through the sky now that it's cleared from the marine layer. And you see a shadowed figure approaching, stepping.
Where's Vespa?
Where's everybody?
The figure approaches, long, heavy cloak, kind of billowing gently in the wind. You see a dark beard, kind of kept to a manicured point. Longish hair, slicked back, pale skin. and very intense eyes, you see standing before you Lord Sylas Briarwood.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
He's for sure dead.
What do you mean?
Super dead.
No, he got away.
He got away.
He got away.
He got
What?
away?
He did.
Yeah,
Thought I sunbeamed him in the face.
His wife got
the shit out of him.
Yeah, he turned to mist and escaped. You couldn't follow him because you were focused on other things affecting him.
This is true. Yep.
Man.
He got away.
Bitch, but I broke the world for you. I thought I had a tree growing out of him. No? Damn it.
Wait. Okay, later.
Oh, this is an unexpected surprise.
I
Long have I waited. Learning, reading, listening, suffering. By the grace of ancient shadows stirred, by a love unending, my soul was scattered beyond life and brought back twice now. All to be with my beloved Delilah. Twice she sacrificed everything for me. Everything. And twice you have torn her away from me. Left without hope. Agony unending for this eternal life. Unlife. I am cursed now without my partner. The paltry affections you both hold for each other mean nothing by comparison to what we had. Though amusing it is to see you go through the motions. You do not, cannot understand what true, timeless love is. You could never discover the joy that you've robbed of us. For this timeless torture you've banished my soul to, I bring judgment to you both. The first of many vengeances to be brought down upon your loved ones. He reaches forth and grabs the black chain
Wait.
on the back of each of you.
It has nothing to do with anyone else. This is about us.
You're right. Each of you had killed my Delilah.
To be fair, she kind of deserved it. I mean, to us. She was terrible.
She starts dragging you both towards the cliff edge. Your knees are dragging across the rock and dirt.
Percival?
Honestly, Silas, is this your plan? Is this what you're planning to do with us? Just toss us off a cliff?
Poetic.
I used to fear you. Know that when I die, you will bore me.
He leans in real close to your face. You can smell the rot and ash on his breath as his nose touches the tip of yours, his eyes burning with eternal hatred. I'm sorry it took this long to finish the last of the Derolos. But it'll be nice to not worry about an incomplete position.
I'd lean forward and headbutt him.
Make an attack roll.
Don't move it! Don't move it!
Oh. So as he begins to like flex to drag Percival forward, you kind of lean forward and crack, just whack him right straight in the head. What's your strength modifier?
Nothing.
Negative, it's nothing.
You do. I'll give you 2 points of damage on it
Oh, thanks.
for the crit. So crack is.
It's almost sad it's over. I've been thinking about this moment for so long. I planned so many elaborate ways to torture you and tear you apart. And
Tell us about them.
I've come to enjoy the simplicity of things. And throws you both from the cliff.
Oh, God.
Oh, GBs.
You both impact the water. The ocean is now. How do you want to do?
Oh my God.
Sorry. You ruin my rehearsal dinner. You better be glad this wasn't tomorrow. Well, you're not going to be glad at all, because I'm going to keep moving forward. As I'm saying it, I'm going to put him in radiant blast as I shoot him.
So as you fire him, each blow, he falls to the ground, and you see his body begin to turn into mist. And right as he falls on his back and begins to turn into mist, the outer range of the Pelor's blessing on you, the Dawnfather's radiant, and you watch him scream as his body just flakes into 100 pieces of gray ash before it
I got
dissipates.
ghost purple. I got no sleeves.
Wow.
I can't believe that motherfucker killed me the day before our wedding. I know.
Whetstone, the stewards, you said.
Yes.
They killed you?
Mm-hmm. The Briarwoods.
Briarwoods?
Mm-hmm.
We should find them and...
Oh, they're gone. They're long dead, too.
Oh.
One of them kind of pops in my head, though, every now and then.
What's that mean? What? Say that again.
What?
Voices in my head.
Oh, kind of like...
In that kind of bit of gentle quiet, you do hear a familiar whisper. It says, "Careful, dear. Some things are meant to be kept secret."
Oh, hello. Oh my God, it's been so long since I've heard from you. What have you been up to? Oh, come on, Dee, just tell me.
Please, just be careful.
Oh, I didn't say anything that's not like public knowledge. So back off.
That's the end of it.
Good night.
That's
So
a
as I
skeleton
can
in there.
feel my consciousness waning, and I kind of check out for a minute, and I come back, and no one could see it, but if they could, my eyes start glowing green as I can hear Delilah's voice rattling around in my brain.
Not yet. There's still much to do.
And then I gonna...
Of some kind, just through the exterior of it, cold to the touch.
Cold. I can tell through the...
I mean, the pouch itself is cold.
I'll just tip it out into my other hand.
Okay. It touches your palm. That same low bass kind of kicks through you. And it begins to get warmer. And warmer. And warmer. Your vision begins to darken at the peripheries of your eyes. Your perspective on Imogen begins to fade, almost like you've been holding your breath and the tunnel vision begins to kick in, and all
Feels like I'm gonna pass out.
as you are focused entirely on this gem, unable to look away. Like a slowly increasing heartbeat somewhere within you. And a voice creeps into your mind that goes, "Child, this is far too dangerous in your hands."
Is it Delilah?
It is. I'll handle this.
I grip it.
You do, and it feels almost searing in your hands. And as you do, you feel the warmth, the heat begin to travel through your arm.
Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is.
I've taken care of it for you.
I drop it?
You can't move your arm. and you just feel the heat traveling through your arm.
I just reach out to Imogen.
What are you doing?
I can't.
What are you doing?
It's her.
The heat passes through your shoulder and into your chest.
She won't let me let go.
And now that cold becomes a warm heartbeat.
Grab her hand. Wait, what? It does what?
That cold bass sound becomes a warm heartbeat as the warmth hits your chest. And at that moment, your fingers pull open and the gem is cold and broken.
Do you think Pate is conspiring against me?
I don't think that's what happened. I don't know how it got in there, but I doubt with my entire being that Pate got a rock and brought it in the house.
Paranoid he'd never betray me.
You wander dangerous paths. Be warned, child. Not everyone's looking out for your well-being like I am. I'll keep you safe.
Wait.
What?
Sorry. Wait. Hold that thought. Bladder full from the morning. I go outside.
Okay. You're outside, and there's like kind of the early morning sunlight starting to creep over the western horizon. You kind of like hits your eye a little bit as you come out of the initial like cave entrance on the little platform that coasts upward to the top of the mesa. But you're alone.
I'm alone. Check around. All look good. Do you want to share a little bit more of that information? Tired of you withholding.
I'm just paying attention from my distant, forgotten perch, my dear. You continue to wander around things that hold all manner of delightful and dangerous magics. You know the impact they can have on you. You know the impact that magic has had on you. I claim responsibility myself, so just consider this recompense. Trying to keep you safe. For if you die, I go too.
Well... Maybe you shouldn't be so confident that you'll always have this lifeline.
I'm always confident, dear.
Tell me. I know you've been listening. What do you make of this moon prison situation?
I
What
spend
would
some
you
of
do?
my
What?
spend some of my time doing a bit of research on solstices myself. It's incredible the things that can happen during the proper alignments with the proper preparations. We had a bit of a stress timeline and had to do with what we had at our disposal, and we still achieved something great. I can't even begin to fathom what some others might be up to. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to watch from within. So please, continue. At the very least, satiate my curiosity. At the very most, get as involved as you like.
Walk back inside. Shake her out of my head. Laudna is in a weird headspace, and suddenly she just starts hearing this rushing in her ears, and it's like she can hear the words that Delilah just said about how her friends are going to betray her, and how I'm in a dangerous place, and how I need to protect myself, and my friends are going to betray me, and my friends are going to betray me, and my friends are going to betray me. And I walk up to him, and I wrap my hands around his head, and I say, "Don't you fucking do this, wake up!" And I'm going to do Hunger of the Shadow.
What is that?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to do
So go ahead and roll for that.
amazing new title. It sounds like a Japanese horror movie.
Natural 20.
Oh!
This is getting real!
What does that do?
He immediately replaces all robotic parts with human parts.
It's a very specific feature.
Just fingernails everywhere.
Oh, that's so gross. 4d8.
A damage?
Yep.
Yo, that's some 8s, bitch. Sorry.
Holy shit, really?
16, 21, 23.
Water willing game.
Doubled to 46.
Just coffee.
Plus 4. So, I'll let you, I guess, describe it, Matt, because this is the first time that's happening, but
That's
Lana
50 points of damage?
is shaking, and I do 50 points of damage as I grasp his head.
Well, here, I won't speak it because I'm going to ask you an interesting question. Okay. How do you want to do this?
I do have 56 hit points.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking. You're right. So never mind. Never mind. I literally was looking up. I was on Lauden's character sheet and saw a lower number. That's on me. Sorry. So I will describe it then.
Kidding.
Sorry, didn't mean to spook you there.
Yeah.
Or did I?
I mean, you tell me, bro.
No, you're right. So as you grasp the face, you hear that voice curl up from in the back of your mind once more and be like, "You see, at the end of all things, only yourself can be relied on when all love is taken." And with that sense of all love is taken, that cold sensation emerges through your fingers, and that glowing red light you see in the face of fresh cut grass briefly turns a black void like umbra. And you hear this creaking of metal as all the joints in the body of fresh cut grass immediately seem to almost corrode, like the metal had been left to the elements for hundreds of years. You see rust and oil and all these sort of just dark chemicals and elements of eroded material just suddenly apparate and fill the gaps of their body. And with that, you feel this rush, this overwhelming surge of power within the center of your chest, and your gentle, cold, slow heartbeat for a moment fills with warmth and life.
I'll add to that, as FCG's eyes turn black, mine flash with red, almost the same color as his, and as I'm gripping, almost digging my nails, cracking his metallic faceplate. Just under my breath, you hear, "This isn't who you are." Uncertain who she's talking to.
Hey, you get knocked down, and then you get up again.
I will never question you ever again, Delilah.
Delilah.
Warlock
for life.
In the middle of the shadow, deep in your spirit, as the darkness threatens to consume you.
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
She's got more plans for you.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Wait,
That is so stupid. I'm sorry.
In the deep shadow, before the darkness begins to curl and take you. Not yet, my child. We have much to do. Your eyes shoot open.
But they're full, no one can see, but they're full black as I just, black comes out.
Okay, then I'm gonna send a message to Delilah.
To Delilah. Okay.
I don't know if she's able to do that, but I'm gonna try to send a message to Delilah.
She's on a plane somewhere.
You better bring her back. I know you want to be in this world, and she's your only way here. Get your ass down here and bring her back.
Yep, got it.
Poor thing. I would if I could. would I ask you to bring her back to? For both of us. Sure. What do you want to do?
I want to cast a sending spell on fucking Delilah Briarwood.
Ooh. There we go. Okay. What do you say? Cross that bitch.
How do I bring her back? Tell me what to do. I'll do anything.
The voice responds. Fainter. Thin. Fading. Whatever it takes. It won't be long now. I'm fading. And I'll take her with me.
Oh.
As the towering shape of the sun tree gets closer and closer, the fog begins to consume the floor, just elements of the rocky shelves and bits of jutting stone emerging from the ground, breaking past the layer of fog around you, the dull green light kind of filling the space as you go. You can see that eerie green light just fills the entire landscape around you. You can see that towering, dreadful shape of the tree. The leafless branches tangled and climb like stretching arms, reaching for solace and finding none. Dozens of lengths of rope just dangle from different branches at different lengths, cut or left open at the end. A flicker of dark purple sparks across the ground. It begins to swirl into a torrent of ominous power that rises and coalesces into another shadowy form. This one, a scattered amethyst being of swirling haze and evil presence, vaguely feminine in form as it stands there before you. Fond memories. You can see the outline of her face as it seems to blur at times and then come into focus once more. At other times you see gaps kind of swirl up and then it has to reform. There's a confidence as her shoulders pull back, but still an intangibility to the way her body tries to tether itself into the space. Well, interesting to see you all face to face finally. What now?
Do we see Laudna anywhere here?
You can make a perception check.
That's 25.
25. Glancing quickly about the space, you can see the boulders and rock shelves of this kind of broken center of the city. Looking through the tree, you can see the various hanging ropes, and your first expectation is to see her there, but she's not present amongst the hanging, just not even nooses, just hanging ropes. Above them, though, you see that faint, similar coloration to the energy that makes up Delilah's form. That very faint purple glow embedded deep into the tree's canopy boughs. You're a bit far to see the details specifically, but you did roll a 25. You see almost like a cage of the branches wrapped tightly around a space, forming a boundary of some kind. And that glimmer of purple energy within.
I'm gonna just step forward and say, "Ma'am, We don't know you very well, but we've heard some about you and your past. And I can say that in my experience, people who traumatize others have had trauma themselves. And if there's anything that you want to talk about or share, we will listen to you and hear you without judgment.
So you've come here to offer me therapy?
If you need it, everyone could use a chance to just talk and be heard.
Strange metal child. You do not know where I have been, the things I have bound, the secrets that tether through my very essence. You know not the limitations that I've broken and the eternity that awaits him, me, and all others that walk in his shadow. You know nothing.
Aren't you technically older than her? I mean, I have been killing for 1,000 years. That's true.
How far away are we from her?
I'd say 50, 60 feet or so when she appeared at the base of the tree.
He just didn't know her like you do.
Well, I don't know this hymn of whom you speak, but you haven't done anything to us yet, and we're just here for our friend.
Well, you keep me well, and I keep her well. If you truly do love your friend, then trust that I carry the same care for her that you do. So, there's no continued quarrel here.
That's actually true. Sorry, I have an interesting perspective on it.
Oh?
Yeah, we've kind of been, watching from the outside, but just a guess, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. You need Laudna to be alive, correct?
She is the most convenient option before me, yes.
Well, we need Laudna to be alive too. So there is a shared interest there. But it depends on what kind of a deal can be struck. Because currently she's not. That sucks for us, but I think it sucks even more for you. I get the feeling, just instinct, you might be short on options.
You know nothing of the options that I consider. I have many paths to walk. And if you decide to continue to push into the space where you have no means of bringing threat, then I'll find you.
Is this where you live? Is this your home?
No. This is not a place of my making.
Oh?
I feel like you decorated, though, at the very least.
I've certainly exhibited an influence, yes.
Does that mean Laudna trapped you here? As much as you've trapped her?
It is not the most beneficial arrangements for one such as I, but you do what makes the most sense.
Huh. Sense. Okay, I've got a question. So you have options. Lots of options. Options I don't know about, I couldn't possibly comprehend, yada yada. Why aren't you using them? What are you doing here in the subconscious of a rapidly fading woman? Why are you here?
Because the fastest path to my interests lie in yours as well. Should they fail and you fail, I'll find other ways. Less convenient, more time-consuming. The choice is yours, really.
Do I believe her?
Roll an insight check.
Thank you.
22.
Damn.
18.
How deceptive is Delilah Briarwood?
Pretty.
Oh, whispers!
Come to me.
Whispers. Still in the same place.
Well, this conversation was
Beyond whispers. They exist.
22.
Damn.
18.
How deceptive is Delilah Briarwood?
Pretty.
Oh, whispers!
Come to me.
Whispers. Whispers. They exist.
Little Santa boy.
Oh, just.
I don't have anything to say. I already did my ad, so I got nothing to say. D&D Beyond still exists.
Yeah.
Still in the same place.
While this conversation was happening, could I have mentally been reaching out to Laudna?
Ooh. If you'd like to try.
Yeah. Are you close by? Where are you?
Interestingly enough, here there's a blockage. You try and continue that connection you've had, but you feel like, at least in the presence of Delilah, you can't quite push through. The force of her here in front of you, between you and wherever this connection would go, is strong enough to where you are obscured.
I would ask to use Know Your Enemy again on Delilah, but I assume I already got eyes on Delilah with the child when I used that feature on the boy.
That was a different entity. I will say, the Know Your Enemy in this, this is different than watching a person walking around and talking and, seeing their technique, their skill, their musculature, their confidence. This is looking at a partially apparated spectral necromancer. Go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
17. No, I was looking. 19.
19. Very good. I'll say, comparatively, armor class, given the thin form, the immaterial form, it doesn't appear to be the most defendable, at least from an armor standpoint, though.
And the other thing I'd want to know is strength relative to Orin's Big Ten.
Not quite as strong as you.
Okay.
Now, as we stand at this impasse, may I also express that the gifts that I grant her, what a paltry example of the greater gifts I can offer you all.
Ooh.
There are many rewards for both capability and loyalty. And you've proven this day to be quite capable. So, step carefully.
A dialogue, I think, would have some great merit here, and we're nothing if not patient. See, the circumstances surrounding us are that we might have the ability to give Laudna back some life, especially with her, that's a air quote, but we're not going to be able to do that as long as you are cohabitating. But she can't come back to life while you're still around, so I guess the real question would be, what is it that you need or want in this situation?
I think you misunderstand the nature of our binding. As it stands, we are not two beings cohabitating a form. We are one being. If you are to bring her back, I am to go with, and if you are to leave her dead, then so I, too, fade till I find my next path, and my vengeance along with it.
I just figured with all those paths that you mentioned that if there was anything we could do to make your transition to an alternative means most optimal, then perhaps we could help facilitate that.
That's a great idea.
Is there a way to break the binding?
You're asking her this?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Insight check.
Make an insight check. She says,
Natural 4.
It's kind of hard to read. Understand, the circumstances in which the two of us found each other were not optimal, but I'm a being who's known to adapt, and adapt I have. Other options are there, but this is something we both want. So, go and bring us back.
One more follow-up. I'm sorry to take so much of your time. I know you got busy ghost stuff to do, but we think she's awful special. And you do too. May I just ask what you found special about Laudna, or why did you choose her?
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Guidance.
Guidance. Maybe guidance. What's that say?
2.
Okay. 20.
20. Some children have a gift. I found I had a gift for learning. Her? She was one of the lucky to be born with something. But I didn't see that at the outset. She was useful. I had to prove a point. And she was in the right place at the right time. Fate, or whatever you might call it, deigned that we meet at that time. And because of that, here we both are. So, she's special because she's part of my destiny.
Is she wearing anything around her neck, her necklace, or anything like that?
She's not wearing anything. You just see this kind of image. There is...
Yes! They all did it!
There is a feminine shape to the energy that forms her scenario, but she's not...
That means titties,
She's not starting OnlyFans, all right? Yet.
She's got options.
I don't hate that for her.
No, hey, it's a better option than some other things.
Incorporeals, you have to wait for meta.
Makes interesting lighting, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still confused. I mean, there's no reason that you can't get something that you want out of this. I just keep thinking of a scenario where this all goes bad, there's a fight, you kick all of our asses, which I'll admit could happen, although I've met a few of the people who apparently are responsible for you being here, and they're a little... Ugh, wow. I mean, honestly, they're not that bright, and a couple of them are just assholes. But you get rid of all of us, what's in that for you? Other than, at the very least, we'll probably get in some good punches, and it won't feel good. You may have to take some time to recover for it, even if we just, kick your ass 2/3 of the way to sunset before you wipe us out. Or we figure out something in the middle. You keep throwing these vague things around, and to be frank, and I hope that you take a little bit of criticism, although you don't really strike me as the sort of person who's interested in criticism. I don't feel like it's been going that well for you.
maybe it's time to shake things up. I know what it is to have a plan go wrong. And to just keep fucking pressing that same button over and over and over.
I find the depths of your ignorance extremely boring. Look, you try and tear me away, her soul is sundered. You bring us back, we both live. It's that easy. Either you stand here and die, or return and continue the path if you care about her so and bring her back. Or you hate me so much that you let her die, and I'll just find another way. The choice is yours.
So, just to make sure that I'm clear about the whole thing, are you stuck here if Laudna does not come back to life? Basically, we're your only way out, right?
You're the most convenient way out.
Please, I talked to you before. You're fading.
Do you know where I'm fading to?
Where?
Best not to spill all my secrets.
Do you want to play a game called Secret Treasures?
Not particularly.
You could always tell me a secret and we could give you something.
I'm dealing with children. More children. Do you know what I do with children? And she looks up towards the tree.
Oh, God. Jesus. Oh, God.
You put them up in a tree?
If I look up at the tree, can I see anything? Do I see that purple flicker?
Roll a perception check.
Nope.
Not at the
Rolling
moment,
great.
no.
I, for one, am sold.
Oh?
Yeah, I think this is a good deal.
Wait, what's the deal?
Well, that, we bring Laudna back and that Delilah gets her ride. But I think we probably need to hear from Laudna, too, which I have to say, kudos. Has been hard to find her in this place. Probably on account of all the moving buildings and protruding ribs and shit. Is she around?
She's around.
Would you mind if we just had a quick word to verify her intent?
I don't think that's necessary in the circumstances, and she's a bit preoccupied.
Preoccupied.
I actually do think it's very necessary.
Yeah, we might have to insist.
Yeah.
Because you see, even if we die here, we just pop back and go back to being sad without our friend. But you, I know a couple things about a bullshitter. You're a real good one. But you got the teensiest little crack. I want to help you out because I miss our friend. But you're going to have to work with us. And that means hearing from Laudna, even for a minute.
Roll a deception check.
Natural 20.
Ooh! Ooh!
Yes.
Ooh!
Ooh!
Yes.
D4.
26.
26.
Damn.
There's a tension in the air, and the fog seems to swell strongly. And you, who've seen quite a bit of combat in your time of training, you recognize the smell of an imminent strike. And you begin to feel your muscles tense. And in that moment, the fog kind of blows away from the base of where Delilah's energy still holds and swirls. If you think it will do any good, I've been speaking with her myself for some time, and we've gotten along just fine. Laudna, darling. And she looks up, you hear the creaking of wood and branches pull apart ever so faintly, and now you can see that purple glow in this kind of flickering shadow form. Now, the same body, the same shape as what you saw put on that dress in that earlier vision. The purple glow in the chest, the same purple energy as Delilah, and the tree itself almost seems to have like a faint purple glow to it as the branches pull back. She's still held partially within this cage, but is now visible.
Buck-ass naked.
No, she's shadow.
Okay.
Lorna?
Marisha, you want to take my seat here for a second?
Do this?
So, suddenly, you, in this dark space, reliving various elements of your trauma, lost in the expanse of cold nothing, to whatever level of acceptance or struggle that you feel, your vision clarifies, and it's almost like taking a breath, if breath was a thing that you dealt with. You glance beyond the cage-like branches of the tree as they open, and you hear Imogen's voice say your name.
Lorna?
Imogen.
We're gonna get you home, okay?
I forgot how much I hate it here.
Can you get out? Can you get out of the tree?
I think that depends on you, darling.
I need you to fight her. I need you to fight her.
I haven't been able to fight her for 30 odd years.
We're here now. We'll help.
Can we all hear her? No.
Branches.
Is she 30 feet away?
She's more than 30 feet away.
She's like 150? How far away is that?
About, I'd say, 90 to 100 feet from you, upward angle at the distant part of the tree.
Okay.
As the branches begin to close, you can step away.
Oh, no!
You were the DM. You could have said Delilah turned into a fart.
Too late! Too late! As the branches close once more in the tree, Delilah raises a finger. That's unsporting.
Did she hear any of it? Could she hear my thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Delilah Briarwood. We're gonna sunder you.
And I'm gonna psychic lance her.
Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Okay. We need to roll initiative. Yeah! She was ready for that shit, so. Also, Delilah, the feminine form that you saw, she looks back as you hack and the branches begin to fall, and you watch as the beautiful humanoid woman piercing stare shrivels into a skull visage, these vacant holes where her eyes were, the lips pulled back to exposed teeth, and the skeletal jaw, and green flames flicker where the eyes once were. Get down!
Beep, beep, beep. 33 points of lightning damage.
Gotcha. How do you want to?
No! Oh!
The tree wreathed in flames, top to bottom, the center trunk itself charred and beginning to catch. Delilah, ready to just tear the life force out of each of your companions, already two scattered to the winds, you narrowly avoiding being the next target and shunting you from this realm to help Imogen. What do you do?
I'm gonna lightning bolt the tree trunk, and I'm gonna aim it right at the center of the trunk so I can split it straight down the middle and make the two halves crash down.
Okay. The bolt impacts. You watch as it hits the wood, splinters down the center. This corrupt, desolate sun tree. It's burned down the center as it peels back. Bits of wood go splintering, flying everywhere. There's a moment where you carve down before
There is a blast of impact from the bolt hitting the heart of the tree. The trunk itself finishes dividing entirely. At that point, there is a flash of white. You see for a brief instant that shadow form of Laudna, now pulled free from the center of the tree. You hear Delilah screech, "No!" Shoo! Into white.
No!
As the purple light flashes in Laudna's eyes, this terrifying blackened tree creature, this side of her that you've caught out of the corner of your eye in the middle of the struggles that you've fought beside each other in, turn towards you, a true nightmare of shadow that fills your entire periphery as you feel the cold, long, jagged fingers grasp your throat. As you attempt to breathe, you feel it drawn from your lungs for a moment as your entire essence is rocked with horrifying pain, and you feel like the blood in your veins is filled with frozen water, and you fade to unconsciousness. Laudna.
Thank you.
As you delight in the momentary satiation, the almost delicious grasp of vengeance here, the only thing you hear in the back of your mind is, ooh, 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 ooh. A quiet moment looking past into the shadowed dark distant, holding your cup in your hand, Laudna, you smile looking over at Imogen. Feel that cold sensation kind of drift down your shoulders.
It's chilly on this mountain.
And you hear just creeping into the back of your mind, no matter who you pray to, no matter who you reach for, you are and will always be mine. In that quiet, the absence of those aggressive spirits, you hear Alexander, Tethany, Vincent, all kind servants of the castle, all very useful subjects. And all of you hear this. A voice that has not been heard since you once traveled in a shadow realm to save your friend.
Define all.
I mean, all the three in the
Okay,
chamber.
yeah, I was
Sorry.
just double checking.
Where is she?
You see the shadow shape
It's
of...
just coming from...
It just seems to be coming from Laudna.
I don't know what to do.
It's interesting. You found part of my old additions to the castle grounds.
You hear her? Yeah, yes. You hear her too.
A place to keep Sylas to rest. A place to experiment in the name of the Whispered One. Ah, so many memories here. It's nice to see it again.
What am I to you? Are there more like me?
There are none like you.
So I'm your last material thread to this world.
As I am yours.
What do you mean?
Dear, you've been dead for quite some time. I'm all that keeps you here.
You're lying!
Am I? We are bound, you and I. So let us put aside these strange and unnecessary quabbles and instead, maybe, do some great things together. I'm sure you've many questions. Well, what is it you wish to know?
What are you after?
wish nothing more than to see history come to its natural close. I want to outlive this world. I want to uncover its mysteries and keep them to myself and my love. What's so wrong with that?
You may live to see the day, then. Unless you help us defeat Predathos.
I do not push against your goals. Truth be told, our interests are quite aligned. I lend you my gifts because you need them and I need you. I should hope that offers you some solace. Truth be told, the one I received my gifts from has little to gain with the destruction of the gods. I gave up everything to create one.
Did it work?
It did, in a way.
Create one what? A god. A god.
His powers through you as well.
The Whispered One.
His shadows run deep, and while he may be biding his time, his tendrils lie in every shadow of this realm. I do not wish to see that taken by the enemy of ancient insolence, so we are aligned.
And if he goes away, the Whispered One,
so do we.
It seems you have a lot more at stake. So help me.
I am.
More. You've barely spoken to me in months.
I need you to give me more. And you feel that hunger, that inside. You recall the stone you shattered on the ship. You recall the soul you took from Bordor. You recall that need to devour. I can help you, but you need to give me more.
More what?
Life. Power.
To what end? What if I grant you all the power you need, then what?
Then I endure.
Can you leave me? Become your own form again. Your own soul separate from mine.
Perhaps. But we have a long road ahead to get there, don't we?
And what would you do if that wish was granted?
Find a way to bring him back. And the shadow looks beyond, and you can see on the far end, on the opposite end of this laboratory, there's another door. Previously hidden in shadow, now lit by the bending light that glistens from the center of the chamber.
What do you know of lewdness?
I know very little beyond what you do. We had passing formalities in my youth in Wildmount, but at the time I had little interest in the politics of snooty high mages. I wish I had paid more attention had I known what was ahead. But what I do know is everyone was aware of how dangerous he could be. Conniving. No one wields a smile like him. And all the nobles knew it.
Now what?
Well,
You've tortured so many. So many souls obviously still here. People hate me because of you.
people
And I'm a victim.
hate that which they cannot be. The weak-willed and fateless accept death. But we endure.
I didn't choose this.
No. But fate's a fickle mistress, isn't she?
You're a lying bitch.
She's just silent.
And for the record, I don't think fate is that fickle.
The shadow seems to lean in towards you. And you feel yourself kind of being pulled in with the lean a bit.
It's okay.
You bear a brimming darkness paired with impulse that intrigues me, Fern. Old shadows linger in your blood with the essence of the red moon. In time, I sense you could become something terrible and gorgeous. A malevolent marriage between multiple realms. I can see in your eyes that you have glimpsed it too. And you have flash memories of looking through a mirror, looking through time at possible futures, at a dark reflection of yourself. Embrace it, Fern. It might be the only way to succeed at this.
I don't have to listen to you.
No. But those who didn't are dead.
Well, I've killed you once. I can do it again, and again, and again.
It hasn't stopped me yet. For she'd have to die to truly destroy me. And you wouldn't do that, would you?
Listen to her.
And
you get in your head.
You are something beyond terrestrial power. A child of the God Eater. Faith itself fears you, and rightly so. No one can know the limits to what you are capable of. What will happen to you should you find out. How exciting.
It is exciting.
Where one like you would normally draw the eyes of the gods, you are anathema to them. You might be the one to choose the future of our world. If your mother doesn't make that choice for you. Before you.
It's all right, Laudna. I don't trust her. She can't affect me.
Things are strange. And strange times call for strange bedfellows. I understand your malice. Believe me, I'm used to it. I spent a lifetime thriving on it, and an afterlife enduring and holding on to it. But we need each other. So, think about it. I'm always here. And the shadows vanish. As Laudna's sat in the shadows of the forest, in the caves and the familiar paths, the familiar voice creeping through your mind. Just like old time, Laudna. Others come and go, but I'm always here. Just you and me. Always.
You loved something?
I love something.
Even though it hurt you?
That's what love is.
I'm beginning to truly understand that. Is love anything more than pain?
Sometimes. And it's worth it. It's worth everything.
How? When? I know the rewards can be great. But why can't I remember any of them right now? Not even the ones that happened this morning. All I can think about is how you lost the love of your life. How Imogen's mom left her, and her dad couldn't look at her. How Orem is defined by the pain of his lost husband. FCG's missing past and that pretty lady Keyleth, who seems to can't get away from her past. When is love not pain?
When you find the strength to fix what hurts you. The weak let themselves hurt. But us, we find a way to change our fortunes and to hurt those who hurt us.
Do you think Ashton is weak?
From what I've seen, Ashton's barely figured out who they are and have bashed their head against the wall until someone tells them they're still a child.
I don't want to hurt children. I love children. Perhaps I should make him a doll.
Perhaps.
I stumbled to my old cabin.
Let's go to it then.
All right.
What did you just do?
You hear the creaking of branches and a shadowed memory of a dead tree crawls past your shoulders as you feel the cold but somehow welcoming presence of Delilah Briarwood fill your spirit as your claw reaches out to grasp the front of the Willmaster. You watch as the entity kind of looks towards you, coming to consciousness just long enough to realize what's happening. And for a moment you almost pity it. But so much stronger than the pity is the hunger. You watch as the kind of deep red, pinkish tones turn to a dull, ashy gray. The eyes go pale, snowblind.
I
The
just
face
say,
sinks.
right before she retires, I just say, your power should have been mine and not gone to the halfling.
With that look, her body begins to disintegrate into dust and ash. You feel that beat once more, and you hear the inside of your ear and mind. Very good. Very, very good, my dear. Now, on to the next.
After he leaves and I kind of scooch away from the group.
Delilah?
Yes, dear.
Were you there on Ruidus?
I never went away. I'm always here with you.
I don't know what to do. What's the end goal of all of this? Am I really just supposed to keep chasing and consuming power wherever I find it? To what end? And will it actually ever be enough?
There's only really one reason for power. To protect those you love. And if that fails, vengeance is a pretty decent second goal. But you still have a chance to protect those you do love. The one you love. Don't fail as I did. There's still a chance.
Is vengeance all that's keeping you around?
No. If there's anything I've learned in my time, is to never give up. Because if you're willing to give it all away, nothing's impossible.
What if I'm just a danger to the ones I love? The one I love.
You know she'd probably be better off without me. I know you know that.
I don't know if that's true. They're all walking into the most dangerous of lions' dens. And I think you don't give yourself enough credit, you sweet girl. Look what you've endured. Look what you're capable of. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Ours. You were gifted with this second chance. Maybe a third chance, maybe a fourth, who knows? Life is a strange and intangible thing.
And how much power are you gonna be sucking away from me? If I grow ever stronger, so do you. It's a gambit.
We're one and the same, Laudna, dear.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to. Faith, for some, is strong. I prefer reality.
Then help me. Grant me more power. What do I need to do?
To grant you power, I need more power. Find what you can and feed us, and I'll give you everything you need to keep her safe. I promise.
Promise, promise.
I'm not in the business of breaking my word. if a bit careful with how I express them.
I have a weird question. Pate. Ashlyn doesn't like pate because he thinks pate is you. Are you pate?
I'm no more pate than you are me. We are bound inexplicably, yes, but we're strange bedfellows.
Oh, gods. Okay, with that, I'm gonna go to bed now, I think.
Ladna, and you feel this like cold presence kind of pull your chin up. And for a moment you can see this ghostly visage of a woman's face with a warm but stern look.
Is it Delilah?
It is Delilah. We will endure. Always. And her visage vanishes.